Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl your face when you're sleeping. It can't be denied that God has created the human body with an amazing work of art, and humans' body are nothing but incredibly efficient machines which can amaze us. But have you ever given a thought about all the bizarre and spine-chilling things that a body can carry inside? Well, if not, then let me give you a kind of terrifying sneak peek into a human's body. So here are the 10 horrifying things found inside the human body. Just get ready to be amazed and stick to your seats tightly as I'm taking you through this journey. Let's roll. 10. A twin brother living inside a man. Having twin babies is kind of a beautiful surprise for the parents. But have you ever heard that a brother carried his twin brother inside him for 36 years? If not, then this entry will amaze you. Once a 36-year-old man, Sanju Bhagat, who belongs to the city of Nagpur, India, had to be rushed to hospital because his stomach got swollen in August 23, 2006. He looked like a 9 months pregnant woman who could barely breathe. He always had a big stomach, but things got worse when his stomach suddenly started growing bigger and bigger. Therefore, he went to hospital, and doctors, after seeing his condition, at first thought that he might have a stomach tumor. But to Dr. A.J. Mehta's surprise, a reputed doctor of Tata Memorial Hospital in Mumbai, it was something quite unusual, as that case was a mutated body within a body. Actually, Sanjay had his twin brother living inside of him like a parasite since his birth. This phenomenon is one of the world's most bizarre medical conditions, known as fetus in fetus, because it rarely occurs, especially when a fetus gets trapped inside of another twin. Now, Bhagat's condition is fine as he is living a good health as a normal person. Number 9. Worm inside an eye. Once a man in India had a quite severe pain in his eye. He tried so many eye drops and ointments to get rid of that pain, but everything went vain. But when he went to Dr. Ashley Thomas Jacob of Mulamutiyal Eye Hospital, the doctor saw something white moving inside his eye. He then checked that out with a cotton bud and saw that there's a silvery white long coil, kind of a living creature living inside the patient's eye. When the doctor saw that closely, he saw that it was 8 inches long worm that has been living inside the patient. It's the largest living worm that has ever been recorded in medical history that lived for 3 weeks. Doctors removed it from the 17-year-old boy's eye, although it did permanently damage his vision in the eye. Number 8. Maggots found inside the human. Well, this is another bizarre entry will shiver you and make you feel cringe, as it is about animal infestation in humans. Actually, this incident happened with a guy who went to Amazon, and when he came back after 3 weeks, the botflies hadn't left his body. According to that guy, the botfly maggots have been oozing, pooping out, and excrementing out of his legs even. He got out 3 maggots from his legs on his own. Isn't it creepy? There's another incident that happened with a man. His scalp had become very itchy at first. He thought that he might have attributed the itchiness to dandruff. But one day, he felt that some of the lumps on his scalp started moving. That scared the shit out of him. The doctors were left perplexed, as they thought that the itching scalp and lumps might be because of insect bites. And in response, it's a mild reaction. But why the hell were they moving? So it was only discovered later that the moving lumps were actually botfly maggots who were hatched inside his scalp. The poor man went through an incision surgery so the doctors could remove the botflies from inside his head. Number 7. Woman's tongue became pregnant. Actually, it is a bizarre and spine-chilling case recorded in South Korea when a 63-year-old woman was left with severe pain in her oral cavity after eating a portion of parboiled squid along with its internal organs. She was out at the restaurant to enjoy the boiled raw squid, and while she was eating, the squid stung on her tongue, and her tongue became pregnant. Actually, it injected a sac of sperms into the tissues of her mouth attached with several pods. So the pain had made her rush to a hospital, and the doctors had to surgically remove the resulting 12 small, white, spindle-shaped, bug-like organisms that grew in her tongue and cheeks, which were causing severe pain. Number 6. Fish inside the penis. Inside the urethra of a 14-year-old boy, a small fish actually made its way. I know that most of you will take this entry as a bluff from my side, but believe me, when I am not lying. This horrifically insane incident was recorded in India. When a boy started screaming while claiming that he is feeling pain in his bladder, His parents took him to the hospital as he was complaining of pain and he was unable to urinate. After doing the ultrasound of his bladder, the doctors discovered an object in it which was blocking his urethra. So the doctors took the 14-year-old miserable boy immediately for the surgery. They cut him open, and it was then when the doctors literally lost their mind completely. Because actually they found a 2-centimeter long fish which was lodged all the way up inside his bladder, which was causing pain in his penis that bad. I don't get that. I mean, I wonder how that 2-centimeter fish can get there. According to the boy, when he went to the toilet to pass urine, he was holding the fish in his hand, and that kangaroo fish slipped from his hand and entered his urethra. Since then, he had been feeling pain in his bladder. Number 5. Ant colony in girl's head. A girl named Shreya Darji from India, who was 12 years old when a horrific incident happened to her. Actually, she started feeling severe pain in her ear, and she complained about it to her father. Doctors were left shocked after examining her as they found hundreds of ants living inside the girl's head, and about a dozen of ants were emerging from her ears every day. Doctors repeatedly kept pulling out the creatures, dead and alive, from her ears, but the ants continued to refill the space in Darji's head. Even to drown the ants, doctors even tried flushing her ears with antiseptic, and with laparoscopic cameras they tried several times to locate and kill the queen ant. But nothing seems to help because the ants keep reproducing inside her head and nesting in her eardrum canal. Number 4. A man eaten 9-foot tapeworm. In a Chicago restaurant, a man named Anthony Franz had eaten a 9-foot long tapeworm while having a salmon salad and made headlines in 2006. He felt a bit uncomfortable and went to a doctor for a checkup. Doctors discovered the tapeworm and removed it from his intestines. If you are having undercooked beef, pork, or any kind of meat, then be aware as tapeworms are parasites and are often found inside them. And they can reach your digestive system where they become active by latching onto your intestinal walls. They are spawn of Satan, as they can sit pretty patiently on the intestinal walls and feed off the host's meals, digest them, and keep growing. Number 3. A giant hairball. A teenage girl named Peri Alexieva was relieved of a gigantic hairball in Kyrgyzstan. She had been diagnosed with Rapunzel syndrome, ingesting hair. So, she had a rather disturbing habit of picking bits of wool that she found on the carpet at home and strands of hair and chewing on the ends of her own hair. Her parents had noticed that their daughter began to look very sick and ghoulish and had been losing weight. So they took her to the hospital for treatment when her condition got worse. The 18-year-old girl had immediately undergone her hair-raising surgery to remove the 9-pound monstrosity. After that, Peri vowed that she would never chew her hair again. And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. This image was sent to us by a subscriber. Similarly, if you ever wish to know more about an image you come across, just send it to us. Who knows? We might even feature it in one of our videos. The subscriber pick of today shows a spider-like trail on a human hand. But to your surprise, it is photoshopped. Because the actual story is about an Australian man named Dylan Maxwell who was on a trip to Bali where he had a spider living inside him who made its way inside his stomach via an old appendix scar. The spider traveled from his stomach up to his torso, leaving a strange red line as a trail on his body. After 3 days, Maxwell had the spider removed. Number 1. Live snail in the knee of a kid. A 4-year-old kid, Paul Franklin, tripped and skinned his right knee at the beach during a family vacation in 2013. The family cleaned out the wound as they didn't know that it could be a boy's dismay. Because after a few weeks of that incident, his knee became incredibly infected and doctors treated the infection with antibiotics, as for them it was a staph infection. Antibiotics helped with the oozing of Paul's knee. But her mother wasn't relaxed as a growing black lump underneath Paul's skin was a continuous source of tension for her. So out of frustration, she squeezed the growth and unexpectedly, a sea snail popped out of it. Paul was so excited to see the snail and he opted to keep it as a pet and named him Turbo. That's all guys for today. Thank you for watching the video.